Hello folks, well this is Miguel from Embargo Man. So what we have right here is the Omnicron variant and blaming Bill Gates for this. And I mean, this is one thing about about the coronavirus. We have COVID-19, even though it started in China. I mean, and we have seen is the Delta variant. All right, the Delta variant is like, okay, let's get the booster shot or whatever. I mean, I have seen having 2 shots or whatever it is. I mean, you have the Delta variant, the freaking now with the Omnicron variant, originated in South Africa. This variant is the one that is going to cripple Microsoft. Is going to just blame everything on Bill Gates. Why? Why are they going to blame everything on Bill Gates for creating the coronavirus? And let me tell you the reason why. Bill Gates is white. That's right. That's why they're gonna freaking blame it. Okay, this says, oh, the white man created the coronavirus. The white man created COVID. So the white man brought it to China and this and that, and they just begin all the drama. All the drama to be that what would cripple, because it's in Africa. Put it that way. Africa, Afro-descended, black, whatever, you know what I mean. They go into just saying, okay, people gonna say boycott Microsoft because of what? Because they're gonna blame Bill Gates for creating the coronavirus. Bill Gates didn't create the coronavirus, people. This is just made up BS, just like all the made up BS what the Chinese and Korean folks says, oh, blame it on the Japanese people, right? So what it is about this variant, right? So they ban people from Africa and other parts of the world they said that, have you been to South Africa? Have you been to Africa then? Where they have this Omnicron variant. I mean, nation support. What else can we do? Like, let them, some of them people having the Omnicron variant is selling you a phony Rolex for the price of the legit Rolex, right? Online. And then what would be is there will be too many competitors. New companies would be formed. I mean, most likely black owned, right? So this is crippling Amazon. This is, I don't know about eBay. eBay might have a black CEO, and like eBay might just outpace Amazon in buying things or whatever it is. And then Windows, all right? Most of the PCs in this world use Windows. Microsoft is the creator of Windows. So I mean, how would be this a new company form, Linux, or some kind of form of, let me just call it Black Linux. Black Linux will be, that one will be taking over Windows. What is Black Linux? All right, it's like a company that is black owned, that have their own version of Linux, and what they're gonna do is this with this Omnicron variant. They just going to give Microsoft a run for its money, and it says boycott, and everybody says boycott. Even big BLM will say boycott Microsoft, right? So what is this boycott Microsoft and blaming Bill Gates for creating the coronavirus? But ain't that true, right, Paul? Because all it is, it says, okay, support black-owned businesses, support a black-owned software company, and the final nail in the coffin for this. And I mean, we have like one of the biggest software companies is Microsoft, Google, and Apple. And I'm using an Apple device. See right there, right? So what it is with this variant, so this Omnicron variant is that more to so who is going to affect that variant. All right, so Africa's where they originated. Afro descendants were people of Afro descent, and black people are in Africa. So what would be like this? And that would be that that is going to blame it on Bill Gates. Even BLM would blame it on Bill Gates, and when they blame it on Bill Gates, then everybody in the area, everybody else, I mean, probably most likely the African American community, they're gonna have signs that say boycott Microsoft. Why boycott Microsoft? Because they're gonna blame Bill Gates, who is white, for creating the coronavirus. That's it. And for a matter of fact, for the Omnicron variant is good. Like that variant of this coronavirus would challenge Microsoft in the operating systems. All right, and then where you have ownership of the company or whatever it is, just check on your CEO. And then what it is with Google, the things with Google in there, I mean, even though we're using Google services and stuff, they were going to just say settle in with things, and they're gonna settle in with things. I don't know who is the CEO of Google or Alphabet nowadays, right? So they will say that they're gonna fix things with Google and other stuff. They're gonna come to a conclusion, and then you have finally a black CEO with this variant. What would happen with this black CEO in Google? I mean, and the Omnicron variant, it means it's going to cripple Microsoft so badly that most of the computers, most of the PCs, most likely in African American households, are gonna use Chrome OS. Why? I would say Chrome OS, because Chrome OS, once Google have a black CEO, an African American CEO, Chrome OS are going to be outselling Windows PCs with Windows OS because of Bill Gates, because they blame Bill Gates, blaming Bill Gates for creating the coronavirus because he's white, and because of the Omnicron variant that it's originated in Africa, South Africa, to say at least, to say boycott Microsoft. Look, Chrome. Look, by Chrome OS. Google is CEO is black owned. Boom. Here we go. Chrome becomes the new king of operating systems for home computers and consumer computers. All right, so that's it. I mean, that's it. This is crippling and putting, or it'll eventually dethrone Microsoft as the OS king to Chrome. All right, so even though I use the Chrome browser, but this is what it is with this. Apple, on the other hand, I'm saying Apple, right? It is founded by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. So it's not gonna be Steve Wozniak to taking over of Apple. I mean, with this Omnicron variant, that originated in South Africa. What would be is that Tim Cook is gonna step down as CEO of Apple, and a black person is gonna take over Apple. That way, Apple would have his clientele in the United States, or African American clientele, to boost sales. And then what would happen with this is like, oh yeah, even what would bring is that that Windows OS system is going to be number 3 in America, or probably number four, including with the Black Linux. Black Linux? I mean, this is what I'm saying is that, okay, so this Omnicron variant, everybody blaming on Bill Gates. I mean, most likely the African American community blaming on Bill Gates. And then everybody follows and jump on the bandwagon. Okay, support us. We suffer. Look at what you guys have done to us. Or whatever. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody hops in. What would happen with this is black CEO in Google, black CEO in Apple, when Tim Cook steps down and says, oh, I'm gonna give it to this dude on that, and for she's gonna be a black person or black guy or whatever it is, and probably Black Linux. Let's see a company that is black owned that have some kind of Linux style software. I mean, operating system would eventually this. All right, so what would be it? But let's just talk about these two main competitors with Microsoft, Google and Apple. All right, what would happen, it is without even counting the Black Linux. All right, so what will happen with these major companies is that Chrome computers with Chrome OS is gonna take the lead. With Google having a black CEO, Google is gonna take the lead with Chrome OS computers, dethrones Microsoft. Microsoft is going down. Why? To blame it on Bill Gates for creating the coronavirus. That is kind of nonsense and a make-believe story that is all we all know is most people are gonna know is gonna be BS. Then Apple, like Tim Cook stepping down as CEO of Apple, giving it the let the ship be controlled by somebody, by an African American or a black person, take control of Apple, then Microsoft Windows wouldn't hold a candle. What's going to happen, Windows is going to be number 3. Why is going to be number 3 in America, or why is going to be number 3, is because of the Omnicron variant. That's right, Omnicron variant starts in Africa. What kind of folks mostly are in Africa, and guess what? And the story that everybody believes, oh, Bill Gates is guilty of creating the coronavirus. Everybody hops in. Windows operating system becomes the third most used operating system in America. I don't know about the world, but yeah, that's it in the USA. Then if it's Black Linux coming up, like an operating system, created by a new company that is black owned, Linux based operating system, then Microsoft Windows falls into number 4, right? Because this Omnicron variant coronavirus that originated in Africa would have the 3 operating systems dethroning Windows. Microsoft Windows no longer could be king of the OS. Would be Google Chrome OS if Google CEO is black. iOS if Apple CEO is black. All right, so Google have a black CEO, Apple have a black CEO, then Microsoft Windows is going to be dethroned to be the king of operating systems on consumer computers. Then after that, you have Black Linux. Black Linux is going to be number 3. Black Linux is going to be number 3. It's going to be a startup with some company. I've been saying Black Linux because it is another OS, another operating system who's Linux based. The CEO is black. The company who is the owner, who has a startup, is black. And the Black Linux is going to be number 3. And Microsoft Windows OS is going to be number 4. Why? Omnicron variant coronavirus that started in Africa, where the most likely majority, or where the most of the people in Africa are like black, means 3 companies, 2 that have changed their CEOs into black CEOs, and one Linux startup, like saying Black Linux is in the 3rd place, putting Microsoft Windows OS into the number 4th spot in the USA. Just the saying, in the USA, right? So Microsoft Windows is going to be number 4 because of 3 companies, Omnicron variant, and the people who's going to involve with this variant. All right, so that's how it's gonna go. It's going to be like that, because I will tell you this: next year, when cases of these Omnicron variant comes to the United States, you'll see people is gonna go and blame Bill Gates on creating the coronavirus, and people is gonna believe that BS. And then, okay, because why are they gonna blame it on Bill Gates? Because Bill Gates is white. That's the reason why. Bill Gates is white, and there's an excuse to blame it on somebody else, that of a virus that started in Asia, to say this is a white person. Bill Gates took the virus to China and they brought it to America, and then they have different variants, and the Delta variant and the Omnicron variant. Boom, here we go. This virus is not just crippling people. It's not affecting people. It's affecting Microsoft, because once they see that who's dying of that South African variant Omnicron, then Windows is gonna be dethroned. And that's just saying, when Windows is gonna be dethroned, then you're gonna see announcing Tim Cook announcing that he's going to step down from being the CEO of Apple, and he's going to give that leadership to a black person. That is how the Omnicron variant that started in South Africa has led to Microsoft being dethroned. And for that is going to be for the home computers. I mean, this also is going to be a change in Google. The change in Google means somebody, he's going to says, I'm going to step down as the CEO of Google, or the CEO of Alphabet, that's what it's called now. And then someone in charge who is African American, or saying black, takes control of Google, and boom, Microsoft Windows no longer becomes the king of the operating systems for consumer computers. And then, I mean, this is going to dethrone Microsoft as Windows being the king of operating systems. And the reason why, because of the Omnicron variant. And that's what we see. It's not like it's saying it's hurting people. It's not me. It's not going to affect me. It's going to affect more Microsoft because of Bill Gates saying everything about the coronavirus and all that stuff. And people is going to have signs that says ban, boycott Microsoft, boycott Microsoft, boycott Microsoft. And then CEOs, and then the change of CEOs in Google and Apple being black and dethroning Microsoft, plus another startup of saying a black Linux, putting in the third place, putting Microsoft Windows in fourth place. It's going to happen because this is how it's happened, right? So the only thing I was saying, they're going to blame Bill Gates for creating the coronavirus thanks to the Omnicron variant. Goodbye, peace out, take care, see you on the next video. And yeah, just I would say, people, you working at a store or whatever it is, I mean, you're going to, once you see the CEO of Google or the CEO of Apple, once they step down step down and they have a new CEO, and the new CEO of Google and the new CEO of Apple are black, you're gonna have a hard time selling your Windows PC. Why? It's not just gonna be Apple's gonna be still gonna be second place. I mean, what's going to happen is that the Chrome OS is going to dethrone Microsoft Windows, and Microsoft Windows no longer going to be OS kings. Bye.